been missing out on a Tesla owning trick? Can you honestly say that you know all 5 of these Tesla owning tips? Hello and welcome back to another Tesla EV video with me, and I'm well informed. Whether you've just purchased your Tesla or whether you're an existing owner, these are my 5 essential tips I wish I knew earlier for my Tesla Model 3 and equally if you have a Tesla Model Y. What does that mean for me then, Adam? Well, today we're talking about battery health and range extending tips, and how to extract and unlock higher charging speeds, and just plain tips to help squash any initial range anxiety concerns. Essentially, the goal for me in this very video is to get more from your Tesla wherever possible. I expect some of the tips you may already know, and equally there will be some other tips you will not know. Hence why I said, can you honestly say that you're going to know all 5 of these tips? Right, lots to get through. I'd appreciate if you could just drop the video a cheeky like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and right, let's just get right into the thick of it. So to kickstart these tips, have you ever got to a Tesla supercharger and started stressing because you're not hitting the max charging speeds of 170 kilowatts for the rear-wheel drive Model 3 or 250 kilowatts for the long-range Model 3 or performance Model 3? And whilst there are many reasons why that may occur, did you know your preparation can directly affect the speeds that you receive? So what do I mean by that? Firstly, it may seem overkill, but I can't stress this enough. Always navigate to the supercharger, even if it's just a couple of miles away. It's not because I worry that you'll get lost, but because this essentially informs your Tesla that it's about to get some supercharging juice. Prepare yourself for maximum charging speed. The technical term for this whole process is called preconditioning, and that will pop up on the screen too, so you'll know when that is happening. What is actually happening behind the scenes is that as you get within a set range of that supercharger, the car will then preheat the battery, and that's because there is a sweet spot of not being too cold and not being too hot. Just by that manual input of navigating to the supercharger will enable the car to prepare itself for the quickest charging session possible. Pretty neat, right? Navigating also harnesses the Tesla exclusive benefit of utilizing real-time data on which chargers are at capacity or not, so you can effectively skip the busy ones. That and not all superchargers have the same hardware capabilities. These days they comprise of V2s, V3s and even V4s. What in the jargon are you saying, Adam? Well, V2 sites have a maximum charge of 150 kilowatts, and you share that maximum speed with the charger next door. So it's good etiquette to leave a gap between other Teslas when charging at V2 sites. And think of it like the unwritten urinal rule, gents. You know exactly what I mean, right? Note, this isn't an issue at V3 sites. You can get 250 kilowatts and there's no sharing restrictions there. Final point before moving on to the next tip. You will obtain higher charging speeds in the lower state of charge, and it will taper lower at a higher state of charge. This is known as the charging curve. So if you rock up with 70% and you're not getting 250 kilowatts, don't sweat it, mate. Your car can't handle that without damaging the battery, hence why it's smartly made the decision to lower the charge received. My second tip is one that I've endorsed since the very early days of ownership, and I was skeptical at first, but this will improve your range display and any initial range anxiety that you may have. I'll talk about rectifying medium to long term degradation next, but immediately from delivery or whenever possibly can, use percentage remaining rather than miles. Hands down, you won't regret this. That's because with percentage remaining, it's definitive, undisputable. If it's half full, it's 50%, whereas mileage is totally subjective. Going uphill will utilise more charge, just as major headwinds would utilise more power, and so the illusion of a rapid dropping mileage remaining is more daunting and volatile than percentage remaining. So how does it all work? Well, it's the same principle of an iPhone. That will display its battery as percentage rather than simply talk time remaining for the exact same reasons. You have X amount of power remaining. The intensity of the app or tasks utilised will have a direct impact on the uptime of the phone. The car is no different in that respect. So please don't use miles remaining. You can lean on the Tesla's navigation for long journeys, and that will also incorporate charging stops automatically. But what happens if you're at 100% charge and your range is not what you'd expect, or you've noticed the range displayed is not as advertised? To clarify, your Tesla probably isn't a dud, as battery faults are rare. Plus, you have their 8-year battery warranty subject to mileage limits. But to reassure you, any mileage displayed is taken from the US EPA rated range. So for any recent EU or UK buyers that may be assessing their maximum range on the screen, straight up, it will not display the WLTP rated range like you would naturally think. This will be based off the EPA rated range as standard, which is usually slightly lower but more representative to real world conditions. That one clarification normally explains any initial deficit concerns at first sight. If you notice the accuracy of that mileage is off by quite a bit, then that may be because you've maybe removed the aero covers, and that does directly affect your vehicle's efficiency a little. You can actually change some settings within the car to help rectify that external change, and this will really help with long journeys because the car will then take into account that small adjustment that you made externally, enhancing the accuracy when the navigation is working out your charging stops. Plus, your car on the Tesla app and the main display will show the car without wheel covers. Simple but effective. Sticking with battery deg for the third tip, I want to introduce you on how you can directly influence the battery health of your Tesla Model 3. We can then move on to charging cost hacks. If your car is showing higher than anticipated levels of degradation after a number of months, again, do not fear the worst just yet. You can help your car rebalance itself using the BMS, aka the battery management system, and this may help recover some of those anticipated losses. Simply drive your car battery down to somewhere between 20%, leave it for 4 hours or ideally overnight without Sentry Mode on because we need the car to go into a deep sleep state. Once it's been through that deep sleep cycle, then charge straight to 100%, literally all the way, take every kilowatt hour of electricity possible. You may then see that the car reflects a slightly higher range, and that's due to just the BMS balancing the cells better, and it's just a simple software correction tip. If the car doesn't let you get to 100%, there is another tip for that too. Leave your Tesla on a low state of charge for say 4 to 6 hours on below 50%, but try to aim for closer to 20. You should have Sentry Mode turned off again, but try to do that a number of times over the year. Even once a month, just dip it below 50% if you don't normally do that. And this just helps that calibration be in tip-top shape. If you're still receiving issues, seek help, aka calling the experts, send a ticket to Tesla. Fourth tip is regarding charging costs, and I'm hoping you all know this one already. If you can charge from home, you have the ability to significantly reduce your charging costs. You can do this by having an EV-friendly tariff that harnesses super discounted power overnight. My tariff costs me 7.5 pence per kilowatt hour. That works out to be like 1.5p a mile if achieving a consumption rate of 5 miles per kilowatt hour. And if you're super savvy like me, then you can utilize this cheap rate for household energy, like utilizing the dishwasher, etc. With that in mind, I'll leave a referral link in the description so you can have an idea on the tariff itself, and if you do decide to pull the trigger on switching your current tariff, you can share £100 too, which is a pretty neat incentive. But before you do that, don't forget to run your own household figures, acknowledging that there is a peak rate too. Fifth point that I want to reflect on is something that I've discussed before, and I really can't recommend it enough, especially to those with brand new Teslas or anticipating delivery. The last thing you want to do is curb your new wheels, and despite best intentions, if the curb suddenly teleports to your Tesla's protruding rims, well, this solution can help mitigate the unfortunate circumstance incurred by you or your partner in crime. No finger pointing here, folks. My solution to this is to buy third-party wheel covers from Amazon. I did a complete video from unboxing to installation to comparing 2 different types of covers, so you're fully aware of your options that you can utilize. But the underlying benefit is that these covers will offer a layer of protection to your rim, and they can be easily removed and replaced with a super easy installation process. Super convenient and can completely change the look of your Tesla with minimal effort. Again, there's some Amazon links in the description if you want to get a heads up on the choices available and what I recommend. So to conclude, there are some big but small tips that have helped me get the most from my Tesla Model 3. Hopefully this will help you get more out of your Tesla EV and take any concerns on battery health or even range anxiety for that matter. Don't be afraid to pass on the tips to any fellow Tesla owners, and if you want to see a dedicated video on Tesla accessories that made my Tesla EV more convenient, I'll pop that on the screen now for you as well. Otherwise, what did you guys think? Do you know all of these tips? And be honest here. I reckon there's definitely a few more tips that I didn't mention that deserve a mention, so let me know in the comment section below if you know any more significant ones. If you're not sure what to comment and you want to show me you got this far in the video, you could simply comment well-informed Tesla tips and I'll give you a cheeky thumbs up for the support. If you've not already done so, please hit that like button, subscribe, share the video with your family, friends or any other group that may find it beneficial, and as always, you folks have been great and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.